Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about DoorDash Count Your Days. Customer orders boba tea from DoorDash. Can't believe what was inside her drink. One of the things that customers like to do is like to blame DoorDash and their drivers for a lot of things that are very far outside of the control of DoorDash and the driver. Why? Because they could possibly get a refund. Maybe it is generally the fault of the company, what have you. Or maybe it's the fault of the restaurant, but they ordered it through DoorDash, and because the relationship was with DoorDash and the payment was with DoorDash, they're inevitably blaming DoorDash. Either way, based on headline alone, it doesn't sound like this is the fault of the driver or the company, but who's getting the blame? The driver and the company. So with that said, we are talking about everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. In an economy where every penny counts, the last thing you'd want to find in your food is an unsolicited side dish, especially one with 6 legs and a fearsome reputation. But this was the reality for one TikTok user, Angelababicz at Angelababicz, who got more when they bargained for with their bubble tea from Oshi Sushi in Hackensack, New Jersey. I'm going to leave our TikTok as well as their profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. So, if you're in Hackensack, New Jersey, and you see a place called Oishi Sushi, just know this article is attached to that place. The video, humorously titled, "Giving Away Free Roaches in This Economy is Crazy," shows the customer's raw and unfiltered reaction to finding a dead roach in their beverage. The absence of tapioca pearls only added to the shock. I hate stories like this. I hate stories like this so much. Not even because of the implications that are on the driver that shouldn't be on the driver, or on the platform that shouldn't be on the platform, but seriously, they make me sick. I always order from here. There were no bubbles, but guess what I found? A dead roach. Oh my god, Angela said, covering her mouth in disgust. Oh god, I'm having problems with this. Regardless of whether or not you're blaming the driver or the platform, this legitimately is making me sick too, so I understand your upset feelings. The video's comment section echoed her sentiment and rallied to find the culprit. Several viewers questioned the logic of blaming DoorDash, the delivery service, for the mishap. How are you blaming DoorDash though? It's not like DoorDash made the drink, the top comment asked. Exactly! And not to mention, I wouldn't even want to put a roach near my general vicinity, let alone in your drink. So it's not like it's all that possible for me either, or any other gig worker for that matter. This should be taken up with the restaurant. I was about that close to upchucking for a good minute there. The things I do for content, huh? While some took an empathetic approach, others brought up the idea of taking legal action. The way I would sue, one commenter wrote, while the video's creator chimed in with calling my lawyer right now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame you for that at all. It's so fucking gross. One person wrote that she wasn't exaggerating her reaction just for the camera. The way you're not even over exaggerating, I would be throwing up with tears down my face. Sounds familiar from my perspective, just reading about it. Some users expressed how annoyed they were at the fact that she was clearly gagging on camera, making it difficult to listen to her video and follow what was happening. How about you stop and record when you're not gagging? If you don't like what you're watching, you can always scroll or click out of the video. Stop trying to hate on somebody for the sake of hating. You know that person went onto TikTok, had nothing better to do, and their life sucks so bad that they have to go and hate on everybody else. Now, granted, should she stop gagging for the camera? I mean, maybe. But honestly, I don't know if I would believe her if she wasn't gagging on the camera. So I think this is as authentic as it gets, and they just want to hate for the sake of hating. One viewer said she was wasting her time complaining on TikTok about the roach inside of her beverage, stating that she should notify the health department. Lady, that's a store restaurant establishment problem. Call the health department, not tell TikTok. DoorDash is just the middle person. So dramatic. Again, another person that's hating for the sake of hating. Yes, call the health department. Yeah, expose this restaurant for choosing to send out an order with a roach in it. That is something that should happen. She should not have blamed DoorDash, but seems like this person just wanted to be a bitch about it. I can't stand people who just go on the internet just to point out stuff like this, because you literally have nothing better to do. I don't like how that particular viewer is operating. This incident brings to light serious concerns about the standards of food delivery and the responsibilities of both restaurants and delivery services. It's easy to point fingers, but the deeper issue is the confidence we place in establishments we eat from, and the consequences of when an unexpected lapse in quality breaks that confidence. First and foremost, and I think this is vitally important to mention, the delivery services 9 times out of 10 have nothing to do with it. We are simply taking a bag from one place to another. That's not the fault of the driver on any circumstances based on how boba tea ends up coming out. In fact, with boba tea specifically, they seal those things airtight. In this area, Umai 305 or something like that. They make literal cans of boba tea. There's no way for us to put a roach in there without breaking the seal. So let's get that out of the way right off the bat. Second, and this is something that I have grown a level of concern about, this is actually one of the main reasons I don't eat out much anymore, but when I do, it's usually a fast casual restaurant where I could see all the equipment they're using. Maybe it's because I've grown a distaste for how people treat me in restaurants. Maybe I've just become phobic in that way, but I want to see how they're preparing the food I am ordering. Assuming that I'm ordering at all. I actually don't like to eat out much anymore. This is why I usually go to places like Blaze Pizza, where they prepare it right in front of you in like a Subway-esque style. Subway was another one of them, but their food quality went down. I know a lot of people like Chipotle for that reason. And there's a bunch of places that are opening up that are just like that. Beehive Kitchen, Bolay. Some people like to go to sushi places where the sushi's prepared in front of them, and they can see it at the sushi bar. And maybe this is just me specifically, and maybe this is one thing led to another in terms of my weight loss journey. I feel like I need to know how it's being prepared, or I just need to prepare it myself. The creator summed it up with a simple, "It's gonna be a long weekend," echoing the feelings of anyone who's experienced a similar delivery disaster. I guess that's one way to look at it, sure. This unsettling event is not just a one-off. It indicates broader problems in the food service sector. An article titled 50 Common Restaurant Food Safety Violations and Tips to Avoid Them reveals that many food poisoning cases are connected to eateries due to recurring safety oversights. I only got food poisoning twice, one of which was me, because I'm clearly that good with my own cooking. And another was from a restaurant that was supposedly high-end, but it was not high-end. I don't even remember the name of it. It was in New York. Additionally, the CDC stresses the significance of cultivating a robust food safety culture in restaurants, pointing out that a lack of such culture often contributes to foodborne illness outbreaks, underscoring the necessity for establishments to make food safety a cornerstone of their operations. 100% agree with that. Regardless of your feelings about the CDC, if you're cooking something for somebody else, make sure it's safe. DoorDash, a key player in the food delivery industry, has specific food safety handling requirements to maintain high hygiene standards and customer satisfaction. These include using insulated hot bags to keep food at the correct temperature during the delivery and instructions for properly securing items in transit. Moreover, the FDA has outlined best practices to address food safety vulnerabilities, particularly in the last mile style of delivery, ensuring that the food arrives in the same safe and hygienic condition as when it left the restaurant. Okay, but there is no way that the DoorDash driver could have been contributing to this problem in particular. This is another display of how Jack Albon likes to slander Dashers. Jack Albon is the one who wrote this article, by the way. And he is notorious for trying to blame the driver for the things that happen that aren't the driver's fault 9 times out of 10. But I guess that's just the piss poor integrity and character of the writers at the Daily Dot, huh? Ultimately, while the blame for such incidents may be contested, the solution lies in a united front against food safety breaches. By adhering to the rigorous safety protocols and fostering a culture of care, we can look forward to a future where food delivery continues to be a convenient and safe option for all. Oh, that's some political nonsense. Let me fix that real quick.
While ultimately we are fully aware that the blame is not on the driver, we don't want you to think about that. We want you to think about how this stuff shouldn't happen in the first place, and both parties involved are actually at fault. Somehow, some way. And we look forward to where the future of food delivery drivers is continued to be slandered by the Daily Dot, and people are too stupid to see otherwise.
Yep, that sounds about right. My opinion, it's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. In this particular case, I know that a lot of people like to blame the DoorDash driver, blame any other gig worker, because that just seems to be the popular option these days, even though it's completely inaccurate and kind of slanderous. They can't be at fault here. It seems logistically impossible. And I love how blatant they are being about it. Like with the boba tea order, those things are sealed. They literally seal it so they can shake it up. So that's not something that the driver could mess with even if they wanted to. Now, could this whole thing be faked so that way she can get a refund? Maybe, but either way, it's disgusting that the driver and that DoorDash is being held responsible for something that is not even the fault of the driver at the end of the day. I love how there are multiple lines in this specific article literally saying that DoorDash is not to blame, but they insist on making it sound like we're to blame anyway. Now, let's pretend for a second that the driver did break the seal, that they did mess with the order. No bueno, you should be deactivated. But I don't even think that is happening here. I don't think it's possible to happen here. Actually seeing how this article is being written out, I can see why some people are getting triggered by how others are responding to it. DoorDash is just a middle person, so dramatic. Call the health department and not tell TikTok. Now that I'm reading it, I'm starting to get it. Because it's this crap that shouldn't be happening either way. Now, the restaurant should be 100% held responsible. They are the ones at fault. But let's say they're not being held responsible. That's where TikTok would come in. But the problem is that when the mass media teams in question are protecting the restaurant by trying to blame the platform, that's not okay. That's really messed up. All in all, don't mess with other people's food, whether you're a restaurant, a driver, or otherwise, because media doesn't need any more reasons to slander gig workers at the end of the day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.